Welcome to Dr. Charles Speaks, a podcast for now. You've joined us for a special series of transformational talks, selected exclusively from Dr. Charles's corporate success calls. The 15-minute calls are designed to encourage leaders, activate your thought life, and prepare you for the challenges ahead. Dr. Charles joins every call with a blend of his personal experiences, his expertise as a John Maxwell certified mentor and coach, and of course, his more than 30 years of exceptional experience in both corporate America and ministry. Get motivated with Dr. Charles Speaks, a transformational talk from the Reddline on today's podcast, inspiring excellence and generating results.
Good day, my friends. This is Dr. Charles. Let's make it a great day, and let's go even further. Let's make it a great week. This is a call that I truly believe that will make a difference. If you'll just only believe, you too can be inspired to continue to challenge yourself in your personal leadership growth. I'm excited today because I want to share with you a message with the time that we have. I've been reading, as I've been saying, this book called Failing Forward by John Maxwell, and I just been really taking in the chapters as I read them. And this particular passage that I want to talk about today, it talks about the definition of failure and success. And, it's simple, but yet it's something that I feel that we could hear today that can make all the difference. When we think about failure, we think about the definition of failure. It's really the price you pay for progress. Anybody that's ever done anything know what I'm talking about because they failed more than one time. People who fail forward are able to see errors. They're able to see the negative experiences as part of life, just in general. They just come to understand that failing is part of the whole process from earth to heaven. People who fail forward, they learn from them. They learn from those mistakes. They learn from those failures. And then they what? They move on. That's what they do. And that's what I'm encouraging you to do. Don't get stuck in the mud. Let's get to the place where we identify the error, we identify the experience, and we learn from the experience, and then we determine in our minds to persevere in order to achieve our purpose in life. That's so important. And so when we talk about failing, we know that it's a price you pay because sometimes it hurts. It hurts sometimes because you've invested time, you've invested money, you've invested a lot into it only to come up short. But I'm encouraging you today, don't stop. Keep it moving. Norman Cousins was right when he said the essence of man is imperfection. And it's true. We're imperfected. There's imperfection. Know that you're going to make mistakes. This is not rocket science stuff. We're going to make mistakes. Just keep living. You will have made tons of them. I made them, I know. But someone said the truth is that all roads to achievement, they're going to lead through the land of failure. Now, I'm not trying to come across pessimistic and negative. I'm just simply bringing out a truth because we can all relate to missing the mark. And so Nelson Boswell, he said it this way: the difference between greatness and mediocrity is often how the individual views a mistake. How do you view the mistake? Is it the end of the world, or is it a blip on the screen that you overcome and you make up your mind to continue to press on? We're talking about failure and success. But hear me. One of the greatest problems people have with failure is that they're too quick. We're oftentimes too quick to judge isolated situations where we failed in life, and we label those situations and circumstances as failure. Listen, instead of doing that, I encourage you that we need to look at the bigger picture in mind. Look at the possibilities. Continue to focus on what can be, what will be, and you'll get there. Well, there's some people that's disagreeing with me already, and perhaps they think that failure is avoidable. Well, I beg to differ. I don't believe it is. Everybody fails. I believe everyone errs and everyone makes mistakes. And did you know that entrepreneurs, people who have gone into business, and they will tell you, if you just ask them, they will tell you, statistics say that they never get their first business off the ground, or sometimes even the second or the third. There was a study done by Tulane University, and the business professor, Lisa Amos, she said what she found in her study, that the average for the entrepreneurs who go into business is that they fail 3.8 times before they finally make it right and begin to be profitable. And so they've had chances to make it right and could have given up, but they learned from them. They weren't deterred by their problems. They weren't deterred by their mistakes nor their errors. Why? Why weren't they? Because they didn't see those things as setbacks, as failures. What they did do, they recognized that 3 steps forward and 2 steps back, it still equals 1 step forward. Think about that. I'll say it again. They recognize that 3 steps forward and 2 steps back still equals 1 step forward. And as a result, they overcome. They became achievers. And you too. And so can I. We can all become achievers if we continue to press our way forward. If you are a human being, which you are, you're going to make mistakes. I hope I made my case. Well, someone wrote this. They gave 5 rules for being human. And it goes like this. Rule number 1, being human. You will learn lessons, number 1. Number 2, there are no mistakes, only lessons. Rule number 3, a lesson is repeated until it is learned. Rule number 4, if you don't learn the easy lessons, they get harder. And then rule number 5, you'll know that you've learned a lesson when your actions change. That's the rule for being human. You will learn from lessons. And that's the whole intent, is that we learn from them and that we're not repeating the lessons to the extent where it's bringing negative outcomes, but then perhaps we are repeating lessons until we have learned them and become better for it as an end result. When you think about success, because I told you all about the definition of failure meaning the price you pay for progress, but when you talk about success, what is success? I like how John Maxwell says in his book, he wrote the book called Success Journey, and it offers an overview on what it means to be successful. In the book, he defines success in the terms of, which I happen to agree with. He terms it in 3 descriptions of what success looks like. Number 1, success looks like knowing your purpose in life. When you know your purpose, it makes quite a bit of a difference in your mindset, in your attitude. You are able to focus on that which you're going after and keeping your eye on the prize. You are determined with perseverance and true grit to reach your destiny. Success begins with knowing your purpose in life. Number 2, growing to reach your potential. I've been preaching and talking about never stop learning, never stop growing, because we can always and continuously learn something and stay relevant and be able to take our experiences and make them even better experiences and able to share with others to make for a wider perspective of experiences that are positive, that are making a difference and helping people reach their potential. So we're always looking to do what? Grow, and to do what? To reach and to go beyond potential and make a difference. So I said, number 1, knowing your purpose in life. Number 2, growing to reach your potential. Number 3, we're talking about what it means to be successful. Sowing seeds that benefit others. As I've said, the time of being selfish and all about yourself and that's it, those days, let those be gone. But sow seeds in others. Sow seeds in places that are going to not only benefit you, but are going to benefit others. That is so important. John Maxwell, when he wrote the book Success Journey, the whole thesis of the book is that success is not a destination. It's not a place where you arrive one day. Instead, success is a journey that you take. And it all begins with knowing your purpose, growing to reach potential, sowing seeds that benefit others. It comes down to this, my friends, and whether you succeed comes from what you do, say today. In other words, success is a process. And you know, we're talking about failure and success. Failure works the same way. It's not some place you arrive, just as success is not an event, neither is failure. It is how you deal with life along the way that makes all the difference. No one, my friends, no one can conclude that he or she has failed until he or she breathes their last breath. Until then, he or she still is in process, and the jury is still out. So I like to leave with you today this: when we give ourselves permission to fail, we at the same time, we give ourselves permission to excel. Because remember this, failure is simply a price we pay to achieve success. Thomas Edison, he puts it this way. He says that many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. It kind of reminds me of a story, not so much a story, but it's like a person standing in line for ice cream, and they waited patiently until they got tired of waiting. They didn't realize how close they were to the end. They gave up, and they got out of line. They went back to their cars, perhaps, got in the car and started up, and still had a craving for ice cream. But on that particular day, they decided they didn't have the patience enough. They didn't have the desire to wait any longer to get to the front of the line. And they gave up and waited for another chance. You're in line today for whatever it is that you're going after. I'm here to encourage you to stay in line, because you never know, you just may be next in line for a miracle. I want to thank you today for joining me. We've been talking about failure. We're talking about success. And when you take those two together, it makes for a great combination. The reality is clear. There will be failing. But the reality is also clearer that if you keep fighting, if you keep pressing, if you keep moving forward, you'll truly find success. Thank you, my friends. This has been Dr. Charles. We've been talking on today about failure and success. Now it's time to go back to work. Let's enjoy the day. Let's make it a great day and a great week. Until next time, God bless.
Thank you for listening to Dr. Charles Speaks. Visit drcharlesred.com for booking info for your ministry, business, or leadership team. Get info about the Reddline, a 15-minute corporate success call each Monday morning with Dr. Charles. Follow Dr. Charles on all social media at Dr. Charles Red. Subscribe to the podcast here for every episode of Dr. Charles Speaks. Thanks for joining us. Like Dr. Charles always says, no matter what, never, never, never give up. Until next time.